Sri Lanka. Welcome to a brand new show on a brand new morning. As I always tell you, I am your host for today, Anupama. And today we are going to merge two very different subjects on one very, very special show, because today we have two very special guests right now to start off our program. And one of them is Dr. Udaya Ranawaka. I'm very privileged to introduce you to Dr. Udaya Ranawaka, the President of the National Stroke Association of Sri Lanka. And we also have Mr. Rienzi Pereira from Flame. Now, if you're wondering what Flame is, it is a band. It's a band. So you must be wondering why these two subjects, very different subjects, Stroke Association and the Flame, has been mingled up together. So Dr. Udaya and Mr. Rienzi Pereira are here to talk about what they are trying to merge the subjects into. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Very good,
Good, thank you.
Okay, so this is your first time on the show, right?
Yeah.
Yes, on the show,
Okay,
yes.
so Dr. Udaya, why don't you tell us a little bit about the National Stroke Association of Sri Lanka and your role in it?
Yes, the National Stroke Association of Sri Lanka is an organization of both medical professionals and lay people who have come together to improve stroke care in this country.
Okay.
And what we have been trying to do so far for the last 12 years or so, it was established in 2001, and over the last 12 years we have been trying to mostly create awareness about stroke and also improve the services that are available.
Okay.
And we have been training doctors, training nursing professionals, and training caregivers who are looking after stroke patients.
Okay.
And over the especially this year, we have been working in collaboration with the Ceylon College of Physicians, and we have been going out stations. We have had several regional meetings so far where we have been talking about strokes and training nursing officers about stroke rehabilitation. And we are going to complete one such meeting in each province this year.
Okay. Doctor, you mentioned that it was the National Stroke Association of Sri Lanka was established in Sri Lanka 12 years ago. So that's
Yes,
a long time ago.
2001. Yes.
2001. So from 2001 to 2013, what is the progress that you see in the National Stroke Association?
Yes, I think we have done a lot in improving awareness about stroke. See, like when we started way back in 2001, we did not even have a singular term for stroke.
We did not have a
single
single
term for stroke. So we
I didn't know
introduced a
that.
term called Agatha,
Okay.
which has, I think, become very widespread now. A lot of people know that, and that's commonly used now. And I think we have been, at least to some extent, successful in creating awareness about stroke and talking about stroke. And I'm sure we have changed practices, at least in some ways.
All right. So the awareness has been better than
Yes,
it
I'm
was
sure
12
it
years
is a
ago,
lot
obviously.
better, and that has been our main focus. So we want to go beyond that now.
All right. So Mr. Rienzi, hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Flame, and because I'm sure that lots of youngsters out there have no idea what the Flame is. So why don't you introduce your band to us?
Yeah, we began in 1989, so we are like 24 years old now. We began really playing Western folk music, so it was really Simon and Garfunkel, all that harmony stuff.
Yes.
And we were a trio, so we
Yes.
started off just the two voices and one guitar. And we got paid to play the music we liked and really loved, compared to the commercial type
Yes,
of thing
true.
it becomes later.
Yeah.
And so, like, really 24 years down the line, we had our first concert last year, and which is a long time for a band to be without doing a public show of
Yes.
its own. So like
Yes.
really from the early days in 1989, the band has now developed into we've gone through so many phases of music, genres of music.
Yes.
And so now the band does almost any music, I should say. I mean, basically we are a show band, we are a wedding band,
Yeah.
we are a concert band, we are
Yeah.
we are a international band in a sense, because they've toured out. We've been to Australia, Dubai,
Yeah.
various places, So
Yeah, Ms. Rienzi, it's quite interesting because, like I told you before, I have heard about Flame from the previous generation,
Yes.
from
Yes.
my elder cousins, from my parents. But I'm sure the teenagers out there who are like much younger than me have no idea what it's about. So
yeah.
why don't you tell us the link between Flame and the National Stroke Association of Sri Lanka.
Right.
Why link it, and what is the program? What is the big project that you are about to do?
What was happening was, over these, as I said, over a good part of the 24 years that we've been in existence, we've been doing not self-consciously or self-promotingly, should I say, but we've been doing a lot of charity work, and that is largely unsung, which I think it should be.
Yeah.
In a sense, I mean, if you put it out in bright lights and stuff, it's really not charity. It's not. Yeah, it takes away some of the luster of that.
Exactly.
So basically, we've been doing a lot of this. And last year, when we did the concert, when we did our first concert, we realized that we'd like to formalize this thing. Like, we'd like to get involved in maybe one or two projects or good causes that we would like to support on a long-term basis.
Right.
And really sort of formalize, as I said, the thing, because otherwise it's piecemeal.
Yes.
You get somebody saying, there's a walk for cancer, would you come and play? And we say yes.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's those are ad hoc.
Yes.
So when we actually started thinking about this, then we met the doctor, and we knew the Stroke Association had a program, and they have a very laudable program, really, which is, I don't know whether I'm jumping the gun here, but basically it's to set up a center.
Yes.
And we thought that's a really good cause, and we have absolutely no problems in doing this show, for a cause like that. And it does fit in very well with what we want to do.
Yes, and like you said, very interesting what you said before is that when you do charity, you should not brand it, should not commercialize it. It's very interesting because I also believe that if you give something from your right hand, your left hand should not know about it.
Yeah.
So I think that was very, very interesting and impressive that you said that. So Doctor, is there anything to add for what Mr. Riani said? Tell me about the journey. So this project is titled The Journey. So tell me about what the journey is all about.
The concert is called Journey,
Yes.
so that's really their brand name for their concerts. I'm sure Rianzi would be able to tell you better about that.
There's a dual meaning in this journey, because when we started, one of it is highlighting the journey of the band itself.
Ah, okay.
The evolution from the folk period into the more, let's say, rock pop sort of thing that we want to do on the night.
Yes.
So that itself is journey.
Okay.
And from the Stroke Association point of view, there is also a journey. They've come these 12 or 13 years.
Yes, that's
And they are now, it's going to culminate, or will not culminate, because the journey never ends.
Yes.
So there will be this stroke center, and so it's a dual meaning there.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
Dr. Uday and Mr. Rianzi, have you been friends for a while?
Can I ask you one thing? Don't
Yes.
call me Mr. Rianzi, please.
What should
Just call Rianzi.
Yes, sorry.
Thank you.
I didn't call you Rianzi. Okay,
I feel a
Rianzi
little-
and Dr. Uday, can you please tell us, have you been friends for a while?
Not quite.
Not really.
Not really. We
Because
just
you
met
seem to
over
get
this
along like
class.
really well.
No, we've been
Shared
talking.
passions.
Yeah.
Shared passions.
I
Yeah.
like music.
He likes music, and we've been talking about
The same
what
kind of
songs we
music.
should be doing on the show and all that. So I'm getting
Nice.
a lot last minute feedback before starting.
Nice, that's
Right.
interesting.
No, but it's good, yeah.
Yeah, because when you do a project like that, a massive project, especially something like The Journey, which embeds a social cause, as well as something that highlights your entertainment journey, the journey that you took in the entertainment industry, it's very interesting to have a proper mix of attitudes, and in order to promote what you really want to promote. So I think that's quite interesting. Okay, so
If I may add something,
Yes.
Anupama, I think from the Stroke Association, when we came up with this title, when Journey was their brand image,
Yes.
and when we were thinking that this is going to be a journey, this is going to be a walk for stroke. That's a journey for a real worthwhile cause
Yes.
that they are going to do.
Yes. So that's why you came up with the word.
Yes.
So you brainstormed and came up with it.
Yeah, we had the journey. As I said, we had the journey.
Journey
But
is
then what
just
happened
there.
was we realized how what shall I say?
How we could
how
work together and
how
walk
it works well
together.
together. Yeah.
For one needy cause, is it? Dr. Uday, have you always been passionate about making people aware of strokes, of this particular area in medicine?
Yes.
Okay.
Because stroke has been my main area of interest.
Okay.
And awareness is, I think, something that we really need to develop, especially in countries like ours, where stroke is extremely neglected illness.
Can you tell us very briefly, what is stroke? How can you identify a stroke?
Okay. Stroke, to put it very simply, is a sudden change in your brain function. That happens with a sudden change in the blood supply to the brain.
Okay.
It's what you would call a brain attack.
Okay.
Just like a problem with the blood supply to the heart giving you a heart attack, there is a problem with the blood supply to the brain giving you a brain attack. That's what a stroke is.
All right. So there are different types of strokes you mentioned before.
Yes. Now what happens is, now the interruption to the blood supply can happen from two main ways. One is there is a blockage, sudden block in the blood vessel, so that the cells will die simply because there is not enough blood supply and oxygen.
All right.
What you would call an ischemic stroke or an infarction.
Okay.
The other main way is when a blood vessel inside the brain ruptures or bursts suddenly, so there is leakage of blood into the brain tissue, what you would call a hemorrhage in the brain.
Hemorrhage in the brain.
Hemorrhage in the brain.
Okay.
Out of those two, the ischemic stroke, where there is a block in the blood supply, that's by far the commonest cause of stroke.
All right. And so far, I read my rundown right here that 1 in 6 Sri Lankans are victimized by a stroke. Is that true?
1 in 6 anywhere in the world, not
world.
victimized, would develop a stroke in their
so
lifetime.
they have the potential of having
They have a chance of developing a stroke. That's a figure that is quoted by the World Stroke Organization.
All right.
That 1 in 6 any population is going to have a stroke in their lifetime.
In any time of
In
their
many
life?
populations during some time of their life.
Okay, and why do you think this occurs? I mean, do you think there's a rapid difference between how it was in 2001 and 2013? Is there
Not
an
really, no.
increase
We
or
really
decrease?
cannot say that.
Okay.
But all we know is that it is the sort of worldwide data that we have.
All right. And in Sri Lanka, do you think people are being more prone to, learn about what stroke is and how to deal with it? Do you think, according to what you see as the president of the National Stroke Association, are people more aware of it, and are they taking more caution?
People certainly are more aware of it right now, say compared to 10-12 years back.
All right.
People certainly are more aware of what a stroke is and what they can do about it. And that, I think, there's a general trend in health awareness in the country. I think largely thanks to media like you, the work that you all do, there's a general very healthy trend of increasing awareness, not only about strokes but about many other diseases and about healthy lives, which is a really good thing. So in that sense, I think awareness has increased, but I'm sure there's a lot more that we can do, especially in stroke, to improve awareness, not only among the lay public, even among medical professionals, among other healthcare professionals like nursing officers, that it's such a neglected disease.
All right, so to talk about more about the neglected disease, we'll be back after this short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We have more questions to ask from Rianzi and Dr.